Welcome to the Business Blast Podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. This episode is brought to you by Authors Unite. Authors Unite provides you with the support you need to finish your book. Best part is, after you finish your book, they take care of the entire publishing and marketing process 100% for you. So, if you want to become a successful author, make sure to check out authorsunite.com. Now, let's jump into the episode. All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Business Blast Podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. Today I have Siosi Samuels with us. He is the founder and managing director of Faiā, a marketing and consulting agency specializing in blockchain communities. So welcome to the show, man.
Hey, how's it going? Pleasure to be here.
Awesome, man. How are you?
Wonderful.
Awesome.
Just started the day here.
Yeah, man. I'm pumped to have you on over here. I'm over in Miami. You're in Australia, I believe. So for me, it is almost 7 p.m. now. So it's nighttime. So yeah, bro, let's dive into the first one. First one I got for you is, what is the best story from your life that has an underlying valuable message?
Yeah, good question. I mean, my whole life is one continuous story, but if I was to choose anyone, it would probably be when I had to leave home. This actually was when my parents were divorcing, family was kind of breaking apart, and I wanted to stay with my mom and my sisters to, keep the peace and keep everyone together. But then I actually discovered that sometimes you have to question whether what you're doing is actually helping or hindering. And certain series of events occurred where I had to stand up for myself and speak my truth, and then break away from the family. It resulted in not, speaking to my mother and some of my family members for quite a few years. But in the end, it turned out to be the right decision because I was able to call things out, call the truth out, and take a stand. And it helped me question a lot of my beliefs. So that lesson of always kind of questioning your own beliefs and assumptions and stories in your head, because sometimes they may be preventing you from growing or moving forward.
And what is the most valuable piece of information we should know that's within your expertise or industry?
Yes. Blockchain and Bitcoin as digital cash are two very disruptive technologies that are changing the world as we know it. And I believe in order for us to become a truly global society, this change in our money system and corresponding supply chains is now making way for the next evolution of our species.
And what is your best piece of overall business advice, so not necessarily industry specific?
Patience and persistence. We have a saying, through patience and persistence, it will come. I actually always use that in my videos. And I found that whenever I looked into the stories of a lot of successful people, a lot of the time it's through that patience and persistence that they got to where they believed they needed to get to.
And if you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that be?
Just decide. A lot of the time, in my younger years, I remember dabbling here and there, thinking about, is this the right decision? Is this are there going to be consequences? There's always consequences. But if you just decide, things start to happen for you.
And kind of going a little bit down a different path, in your opinion, what is the key to happiness?
Following your own path and having no regrets about it. That's definitely been a recurring theme. Learn to trust your gut. If you are somebody who is sort of gut driven, following that and then not looking back.
And what is the best book that you've read, and what was the number one thing you learned from that?
Hands down, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And what I learned, the number one thing I learned was whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. And that is certainly played out for myself in my life.
And what is your favorite quote and why?
There's so many. So I'm going to actually choose one from Bruce Lee. Knowing is not enough. We must apply. Willing is not enough. We must do.
Love it, man. Thank you again so much for coming on. The last one I have for you before we let you go is, where is the best place for our audience to find you online?
You can find me on any social media platform, and my handle is @Siosism. So my middle name Siosi with the SM at the end, like an ism, and you'll be able to find me on any channel.
Perfect, man. Thanks again for jumping on.
Thank you.
The podcast you just heard was published with Anchor. Got something you want to say to the creator of this show? Send them a voice message using the Anchor app, free for iOS and Android.